Okay, so this kid that I'm friends with now, and I was friends with then, he was having a really shitty day. We both were. And after this happened, I had probably one of the worst reactions possible. But like, I'll admit, I cried a little bit, but it was like not because I was like, "Oh, you hurt me" or anything, but it was like the
Mm.
shock of holy shit, I'm fucking pissing blood. Anyway, so I I was sitting in the bus seat, and he sat behind me to sit next to one of his other friends. So we're and then before the bus takes off, luckily, like lucky, um, he puts his arms around me, around my head, um, puts his book in my face. You don't do that. So, and he wouldn't get it out of my face. So I swatted it out of his hands. It goes onto the floor of the bus, and he has the worst reaction possible. He elbows me in the face. He didn't mean to elbow me in the face, but he's taller than I am. So the angle, yeah, he didn't mean to. It was a total accident. But his elbow hit me right in the nose. The back of my head at the same time hit the bus window. So all like it just maximized the impact of my nose, and I just start.
Yeah.
Luckily, it wasn't broken, but I just start pissing blood, and I just had a freak out. And I'm like, at first it was like a cry, and then
Yeah, you
it
just got hit in
was
the nose.
yeah, like it was. Now I'm pissed. It went from a cry to a rage. I'm like, "You fucking hit me, you motherfucker!" And then I scream up to the bus drivers like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Get me a fucking paper towel. I'm bleeding." So there's blood. There's blood all
Yeah.
over my jacket, all over my
So
shirt.
it was bad.
Yeah, it was bad, all over my face. And I call my dad because my mom didn't answer. I call my dad, and I'm like, I'm I'm in a rage, and I'm still like, unknowingly, I'm still crying. Like I don't know that I am,
Because
and
you're just so enraged.
yeah, and
Okay.
I'm like, I'm bleeding, and like I'm inaudible. Like you wouldn't be able to understand what I was saying. I'm like, I'm bleeding, blood, punch, hit.
Yeah.
So my dad sends my mom to get me. Like he calls my mom or texts my mom, like, you need to go pick Matthew up or whatever. So my mom comes to the high school. Luckily, this is after school. So she comes, and I'm like, I'll be just come get me. And she's like thinking, oh, it's just a bloody nose or whatever, or like maybe he hurt himself or whatever. So she was just gonna pick me up because they kicked me off the bus
Okay.
because
Yeah, because
I was bleeding and
yeah.
because like I got the bleeding to stop, but like just in case. So they set me off, and so ushered off the bus. That's when I make the call. My mom comes, picks me up. She sees me covered in blood, and she immediately is like, "No, we're
Flipped
going
out.
into the school, and we are telling the office, and we are going to the police officer." I'm like, "Fuck,
God damn.
fuck, fuck, fuck." So
Yeah, because this is your friend.
yeah, and I'm like, "Okay, I know he's gonna give the same story I'm going to." So went in, talked to the police officer. Like they're taking this seriously. I'm like,
Yeah.
it was an accident. Nobody around really actually saw what happened. It was, we were joking
Just kind
around,
of
and
just down.
yeah, and total accident. We're still cool. We're still friends. There was no, this wasn't an aggravated assault. This wasn't him going out of his way to assault me. It was an accident aiming for my shoulder, like a nudge, but it caught my nose, and my head hit the wall. It's fine. Luckily, he told the same story, and we both.
Okay.
I mean, he got suspended for a couple days, um, and I took a
'Cause,
couple days off.
yeah, they have to do something.
Yeah, and I took a couple days off from school, and Everything was fine after that. Him and I are totally cool.
Okay,
So
well,
that's
my
my story.
story.
By the way, this is all being recorded, so this is going to go on YouTube. I need to make sure you're okay with this.
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard you say you're gonna record this for GoTalk. Um, so my story, I wouldn't say it ended up as drastic. So when I was younger, I liked to go to school every day, but as you get older, you don't want to. And I might have done that too much. I don't think my parents believed me when I told them that I was sick. And I was like, when I left the house and walking around, I was dizzy. I felt nauseous. I felt so out of it. And so I'm at the bus stop and I'm sitting there just feeling like absolute death. And I think this is the same time that I had my MP3, but I didn't have pockets.
Yeah.
And I lost my MP3 getting on the bus. It fell out of had it slid into the waistband of my shorts, and it slipped out. And so I lost my MP3. And so I'm on the bus. I still feel absolutely terrible. And we're going. Luckily, I'm sitting alone. Nobody's sitting by me for this. I was sick, and I proceed to vomit on the bus, on the seat, on myself, bad, like all over the place. It was disgusting. People were staring. I don't think anyone was laughing. They all looked concerned or like, what the hell? And I'd never been so embarrassed. And so they drive to the school. I'm having to sit there with vomit just surrounding me. I know this is gross, but this is what happened. And we get to the school, and they bring a bunch of paper towels, help me clean off what they could. I get off the bus, go to the nurse, and then I couldn't get a hold of anybody. I was there for like a full half hour until my grandma had came and picked me up. She had different clothes for me, so I was able to change finally out of that disgusting clothing. And we went home, and all I remember is having a bone to pick because I was legitimately sick, and I just had to. The most embarrassing thing that ever happened to me, I threw up on myself on the bus in front of these kids I go to school with. So that's my bus story,
That
I
is
guess I'll call it.
disgusting.
It was
There's a
awful.
there's another bus story that it didn't happen to me, but it happened to a friend of mine back when he went to school. Like he's friends with my parents, but by association. So he's sitting, and I don't remember if he said it happened to him or a friend. So I'm just gonna say if okay. So this kid took a bite of apple, right? It wasn't, and decided, hey, this is not a good apple. I'm gonna spit out the window. So um, he spits it out the window, right? Not thinking, somebody else had their window open, and he spit it out his window, and it came back in through the other person's window and smacked him in the face. That's fucking hilarious. And that's it.
Well, I can only think of one other bus story that I'm kind of hesitant to tell, only because it doesn't make me look that good. It was a poor choice on
We've all
my
made poor
part.
choices on the bus.
You're gonna find me really stupid. I'll go ahead. I'll share it. So
I
I'm
remember when there
sitting.
was no eating allowed on the bus. I actually had a cookie in my backpack that I said like not eaten
Mhm.
because I ran out of time. And then so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna eat it now. So it's in my backpack, and so I have my face in my backpack eating this
Those are
cookie.
always the funniest when it's not allowed and you just see kids just like trying to keep their backpacks over them as they eat.
It's hilarious.
Um, so as I was saying, um, I was one of the older kids on the bus. So I sat in the back, the very back, where all the cool kids usually sit in elementary school. Um, the elementary school, right? Yeah. So we're sitting back there, and there's these kids. on the other side, yeah, I guess I could call them delinquents, as older people would probably refer to them as. And this kid, one of them has like a rubber band slingshot with a piece of paper,
Yeah, V-bomb.
and the other kid has a little like pistol BB gun,
Oh,
and
nine times out of
and
10, the BB gun beats a rubber band and paper.
well, they had the window open, and we're driving down the road. It's a busy road. It's not exactly a freeway. It was that kind of busy though, and he was shooting out there with it, not very good. He couldn't use it, so he didn't get caught. But started shooting out with a BB gun. Luckily, no damage was done. But the bus driver saw it, and he had went back to the school, and they're freaking out, and I'm freaking out. And he turns to me, and he tries handing me the gun. He's like, "Here, hide this. You're a good kid. They won't check you." And I'm like, "No, I'm not going to do that. They're going to." And then I'm in deep shit. But my stupid ass takes it and puts the BB gun in my backpack, and then they proceed to tell him that it was just the rubber band thing. And so we're back at the school, and he's talking to all of us because I was sitting next to them. And so, like, I saw what happened, and so we're at the school, and the principal comes on. It was real serious, and he knows me because don't want to brag, but I was the smartest kid and one of the best kids in the school. And so because of that, he lets me stay on the bus and go home, and he takes them off. And meanwhile, it's in my backpack. And so I go home and just like I'm flipping out to myself, like why did I just do that? I'm so stupid. And I don't remember if I ever get back to him, if I ever saw him again after that. But that's the end of that story.
It's not a bus story, but I have a story very similar to that. Okay, so I was friends with troublemakers, and still kind of am, but we haven't talked in a while. Um, so they're they got snitched on, and they had a tin in their backpack, and that's not allowed because obviously school's drug free. So
Yeah,
they're like, okay, Matt, I need you to listen to me calmly. I know you're not really into this shit. You need to calm down and just listen. And I'm like, what the fuck, person? What the fuck are you trying to get me? And he's like, okay, I need you to take this tin. He takes it out of his backpack. He's like, I need you to carry this for me. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? He's like, dude, just do it. Just I'm gonna get checked, and I don't want to get. And I'm like, well, what if they? He's like, you have nothing to do with this. They're not gonna check you. And I'm like, well, what if somebody in this room sees it that doesn't like me and snitches me out? He's like, we'll deal with it. Just if that.
yeah,
He's like, if
yeah.
that happens, I will come clean and tell. And then I'm like, okay, fine,
Bull
fine.
crap.
Just I'm gonna put it in my backpack. Fine. Like I trust this kid. I've known this kid since kindergarten. I'm like, okay, this was in high school. I'm like, okay, fine. So he's like, okay, here. I put it in my I take it. I put it in my backpack. The rest of the day, I am just freaking out. Like, oh my god, I have drugs in my backpack, or not drugs, but I have
Yeah,
tobacco in my backpack. Oh my god,
yeah.
I have a tin of tobacco in my backpack, and so the day goes by. It's actually the day of an assembly.
Oh,
But
that's
luckily, hold on, but luckily, I didn't have to go to the assembly. Um,
okay.
cause I was in like a special class, and they're like, you can sit in here for assemblies, just don't get caught coming down here. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm sitting there, and then my buddy he texts me. He's like, where are you? Where are you? You're not at the assembly. Where are you? And I'm like, I'm in the CMC. And he's like, all right, cool. So he comes down, and then I give him back his tin, and yeah, that's that. So everyone
Very
got
similar
away.
story.
Yeah, everyone got away scot free. He's like, they checked me. I didn't have anything. They said I could go.
Well, better ending than your story. I know I got off the hook clean. I have no idea what happened to them.
Um, but another thing is at our school we had a thing called Quick 50, and this is what really made like if you snitched on someone and it was right, like they actually had shit, you'd get $50.
And that's
But
is
there
that
was a catch. It was $50 to use at the school store, so it wasn't like a
uh
$50 bill.
okay. Was this high school
Yeah,
or
yeah, high school. We had a school
okay?
store because we're um, we're the Oconomowoc Raccoons, Coons. Like they changed the name to Raccoons because it was offensive, even though it
Yeah.
was Coonies for years. So we still called them the Coons and Coonies. Nobody cared. So the school store is called Cancun. Get it?
Yeah, yeah, I got it.
It's literally a walk-in vending machine. It's candy, snacks, and soda, and juice, and water, and gum. A pack of gum was a buck 25,
Hmm.
which I think is better than at a regular grocery store. Um, it was the only place you could get good drinks,
Only?
but diet soda only. The only non-diet soda we had was Pepsi Max, and then even the Sierra Mist was diet.
It's
Like
gross.
that's nasty. My freshman year in the lunch line, they had Long John donuts. Yeah, they had donuts like frosted donuts. Um,
Yeah.
in the like double chocolate chip muffins, blueberry muffins, nachos, fucking soft pretzels. I mean, they kept the pretzels and nachos through the entire thing, but like all this delicious shit. And then they had of course, the refrigerated section with like the sandwiches, the pre-made sandwiches,
Yeah.
and the platters and whatnot, and the juice. And then there was another fridge, the drink fridge, and it had Powerade and all the shit. And then there was a section in there of Arizona iced teas, all of the flavors. And then eventually, after like halfway through freshman year, they got rid of them because there was too much sugar in them.
Oh, your school just like mine. Yours got Michelle Obama.
Yep, and the that's when the food got shitty. Like that's when it really got gross. And then um, before it got Michelle Obama, I mean, they kept this around for a little while, but eventually got rid of it. They would have baskets at the end when you check out of like candy bars and shit. Starburst, Snickers, like full size Starburst, Snickers that you could buy for $1.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like they tried to treat us as best they could with the school lunch, but man, as I've said before on the spot, man, I've stolen so much out of that lunch line.
Well, I don't see how that doesn't sound difficult
I
at
no, it
all.
doesn't, because I wore what I did was I wore a sweatshirt or a jacket, even on warm days. It was like a windbreaker type thing,
Yeah.
kind of like a track jacket or whatever. Like it wasn't like a windbreaker. It was like a thick, soft material. And so I had pockets in it, of course. And so I'm walking through, and I do it when nobody's looking. I'd steal muffins. I'd even steal fucking burgers, man. I was good at this shit because I learned from another big friend of mine. And by big, I do mean fat. He would even steal donuts, so the inside of his sweatshirt pocket would get all nasty with donut frosting. And he's like, I don't care, it's worth it. So I would steal all this shit. And then one day, I got caught. Oh man, she's like, I'm gonna let you off with a warning. But just know that I could have told the police and you would have gotten arrested.
God damn.
Oh, thanks. Because I'm like, things are tough at home, blah, 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 blah. I'm giving her this bullshit story.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm like, I gotta, like, I'm gonna come back with money tomorrow. And she didn't let me take it, but she made me punch in my code. So I went even more negative. Because they'd let you go
Oh, so she
negative when,
charged you for it
yeah,
still.
she, in our school, you were allowed to go negative until you hit like negative 10.
That I was gonna say at first there, what you were saying, my school sounded a lot better, but as you kept going, made mine sound pretty bad. Um,
They even did this thing called the Western Burger. God damn it. TV shuts off right as I turn on my Xbox. Um, they had this thing called the Western Burger. It was the burger patty, its cheese slice, a couple onion rings, and barbecue sauce. I never got to eat it because I was always negative. But they had their tater tots were okay.
well, with mine, what did you say your school was?
Oconomowoc
What did you
raccoons.
say your Yeah,
What?
well, I went to Westwood with the Westwood Warriors. I went to Westwood. We were the Westwood Warriors, and similar to that, we had this store that was called. It was the Snack Attack, and I'm gonna talk about everything before they took out all the good stuff. It had chips, drinks, nothing like soda or anything like you had, but these are like fizzy fruit drinks, Powerades, waters. They had Arizona iced teas,
Arizona
Propel.
iced tea is okay. I just want to interrupt you for a second. Arizona iced tea. I will never understand how something so cheap is so delicious.
I've never, I've never had one, or I
It,
think I had. I didn't like it.
it's a
The one I
dollar.
had.
Like they have different flavors. Obviously, it's so good. My favorite is either mango or fruit punch.
Okay,
Anyway, continue.
well, so they had like cookies, whatever typical snacks you'd expect a school to have, and then during lunch there were these carts outside where they'd have sort of the same things, a little less. And you could also get your lunches from there. You had your typical school lunches, well, for high school at least. You pizza, burger, chicken sandwich, spicy chicken sandwich, so on. You could get your Powerades, whatever drinks in there, and yeah, that's I think that's as far. Oh yeah, then I got Michelle Obama as I said, and just everything was just awful. Like nothing tasted good anymore. The best you could get was the 0 calorie whatever Powerades,
Yeah,
and not even the bigger ones. They're only the small ones now, and you're still having to pay the same price. And they had vending machines, and for some reason, I never got this. The one thing that survived in the vending machine, and they kept refilling it, so it wasn't a mistake, were sour worms, sour gummy worms.
yeah.
And
The vending machines that my school had weren't under school jurisdiction, so they couldn't do shit about it. Like the money didn't go to the school, so they couldn't do anything about it. They were just nice enough to let us have it. And they had like shit like the Snyder's cheese pretzel pieces, fucking
mhm,
uh, like salsitas and Cheetos and all that shit. School's not supposed to have.
mhm.
Oh, try WWE 2K16 for free. I own it, so I will not be waiting 6 hours to download it.
That's pretty much the end of my stories with that I can
Um,
think of right now.
the rest of my high school stories are just fucked.
I think we can save that for another time when I have more, and we'll
Yeah.
keep it on a certain topic.